So I've been needing to make this video for a long time. And I've tried to sit down and make this video like 5 times, and I haven't been able to do it. But now, we're doing it. Let's do this thing. Is Disney dying? Now, as a content creator who spent most of my time talking about Disney properties, doing impressions of characters of these Disney properties, and being heavily associated with the brand, a lot of people ask, what I think about what's going on with Disney right now. I've worked for them in multiple capacities as an employee at a Disney store, as an influencer. We've worked together, and I've worked with them as a voice actor on a few projects. And what do I think is going on right now with the company? Because there's been a lot of talk, and especially now with, stock rates plummeting, them talking about more layoffs. It seems like ever since the Fox purchase and everything that happened with lockdowns and stuff, Disney's just kind of turned into a whole different company, and yeah, it kind of has. And a lot of people want to know, is Disney dying? And what are my thoughts and opinions on it as someone who's worked with the company and as a consumer? And that's what this whole video is about, to tell you guys my thoughts, my opinions, and where I think Disney should go from here. First, I want to address the history of the company and how I don't think that they're dying. This is a common trend of Disney. If you look at their history for a good length of time, you start to learn that there's a pattern, that you get about 10 good years of Disney being on top of their game and 10 years of too bad times. And if we're going by general timelines here, we're due for a slump, so this kind of makes a lot of sense. They had pretty good high years with Mickey first coming out and Snow White and Dumbo, and then, World War II happened, so they couldn't do overseas distribution, so that hurt them a lot. But then they were back up in the 50s with Disneyland, great new animated features, diving really hard into television, live action shows, and then Walt Disney died and it kind of went down again. But then it went up with the Disney Renaissance and adding new parks and adding new stuff, and then, with the early 2000s. So, this happens all the time. And I think this is something Disney will bounce back from, especially because right now they have so many properties, it's kind of impossible for them to fail. But then again, I don't know. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors, and I'm not going to pretend that I do. I'm talking about everything specifically from the perspective of the consumer. I'm not going to talk about what JPEG and Bob Iger did and all of them. But anywho, as a consumer, I'm going to be totally honest. When it comes to their media, their parks, and extra experiences, I am very underwhelmed lately on all fronts. And I kind of want to go into more detail about that. Number one, dealing with the general media. By general media, I mean any of their movies, live action films, Marvel, Star Wars, Disney Plus originals, you name it. If it's something you watch, that's what I'm talking about. With the animated films, it kind of started with Ralph Rex the Internet, and I don't really think it's gotten much better from there. There's been a few outliers, like Encanto was incredible. But for the most part, most of what they've been making in that regard is weirdly forgettable. Or, I don't know, I personally wasn't a giant fan of Frozen 2. I know a lot of people were. I was sitting there going, it felt very inferior to the first one to me. But, it wasn't horrible. But Raya and the Last Dragon, I'm going to be real. I keep forgetting that film was even made. And Strange World, I keep forgetting this film is coming out. It's like they don't want to talk about these things. And then on the Pixar front, over the last few years, I felt like Pixar's been waning quite a bit lately, even though I was excited by Onward as like their first original picture in a while. At the time, I was just really excited to have something new, but even I'll admit over time, that's probably one of their more forgettable ones. And then Soul, even though I enjoyed that, I keep forgetting that one's there. And Luca and Turning Red, I remember, but I didn't feel like it had the same gravitas and pull like a lot of the other Pixar movies did. But granted, you're putting them up against other Pixar films. That's a high bar, and I do not think these are necessarily bad films. Just underwhelming is the best word I can think of. When it comes to their live action remakes though, underwhelming is putting it nicely. They're getting real bad. Like, I could at least find some cool things about them when they first started getting going. And there was a few elements of creativity that I thought were fun, but now I feel like we're not really getting any. Like Pinocchio, I feel like Pinocchio's the worst one we've gotten. That one's hard to get through. It was not fun. I never want to watch that again. Ugh, it hurt.
Hello, Pops.
And then even with all of the Marvel properties, I was huge into the Infinity War saga and everything. And that was so cool. And when Endgame happened, I remember going to the theater and applauding and cheering during that movie. I was having so much fun. And yeah, there hasn't really been much after that in the Marvel universe to get me that excited. Like, I get excited in the moment, and then 2 seconds later, I'm like, oh, I feel like I just wanted that to be more exciting than it was. Even stuff with Star Wars, like, I adored The Mandalorian. I'm like, that show is fantastic. We need more like that. And then I haven't gotten more than a couple episodes into Andor, and now I just don't really care. I don't really want to go back and finish it because I kind of don't remember what happened, and I was very underwhelmed by the whole thing. And yeah, that doesn't just go for media that you watch, but also the experiences. Like, I went to D23. That happened not too long ago, and I'm going to be honest, I was extremely underwhelmed then, and I've been to the last few Disney D23s. I was underwhelmed for multiple reasons. Like, number one, I got my tickets late, so I wasn't able to do anything on the reservation system, so I couldn't go anywhere. All the news we got was news we already knew about, so if you moderately kept up with the Disney company and what they were making, there were no big surprises. Other than a few things with animation, which I'm going to be honest, a few of those actually have me excited, so I'll give you guys a pass for those. The Wishes movie from Disney Feature Animation, and this one about the boy going through a different dimension with Pixar. Those two sound interesting. They sound new. Everything else, I was like, no, I'm so underwhelmed by everything. And I was so underwhelmed by D23, I ended up not going one of the days. I had a ticket for all 3 days. I was there all day Friday. I was there part of the day Sunday, and then I had to go home. And then Sunday, I'm like, I don't want to go back. Not enough there is exciting me. I can't go to anything. If I paid money for that, I would have been so upset. But I'm lucky I got to do that for free because of an event I was doing. The event part was fun. But anything that was specifically Disney put on, I was like, I don't really care. And then we come to the parks. Just, wow, I'm so underwhelmed with the parks right now. Like, I used to be an avid park goer. I was going like every other week when I first moved out to California. And I loved it, and it was so much fun, and I always had an annual pass, so much so I had an annual pass to Disneyland and Disney World. It was like one pass, you could go to both parks year-round, no blockout dates. That was amazing, and I loved that pass, and I would go all the time. I'd find excuses to go film at the parks, to make content there just because I wanted to go. But now, if you notice on the channel, I'm not really going back a lot, and that's primarily because I don't really want to go back right now. I got the new Magic keys when they came out. I got the Believe key, which I'm supposed to have no blockout dates for, but I was blocked out all the time. Every time I wanted to go, I was blocked out. Even if I was planning ahead of time with friends, like, oh, y'all want to go this date? Cool, let me see. No, I'm blocked out that day. So I would have to buy tickets to go with my friends, even though I'd already bought a pass that says I can go whenever I want, and I can't. It was so stupid. It was a terrible system. It's still a terrible system in my opinion. I'm like, how does this make sense? I tried it, and when it came time to renew, I didn't renew. I didn't want to deal with that anymore. So yeah, for the first time, I don't have any pass to a park, and I'm kind of okay with that. Because lately I've been underwhelmed by a lot of the stuff that they say is coming, or they're making all these promises only to take most of them away. All that to say, I just feel very underwhelmed by everything that the company's putting out, by everything that the company's doing. I kind of at the point where I'm like, I just kind of don't care. I don't like being there. But I noticed that there was a thing going around where Chapek said that he really thinks they should be listening to the people and their consumers to know how to move forward and to grow. Personally, I think Disney needs to go through quite a bit of change. When it comes to your media presence, please quit regurgitating and create something new. You know, even the new stuff you're making now feels mostly regurgitated. Like, your live action stuff 100% is regurgitated. I mean, look at your live action remakes. Everyone is so tired of them. So tired of them. Even I used to be kind of a supporter of the live action remakes. I wouldn't even say I was a big supporter. Just, I was like, hey, they're not as bad as the direct-to-video sequel, so I'll shut my mouth. But that Pinocchio was so bad. When it comes to the animated stuff, you know, make it look exciting. because I keep seeing these trailers for Strange World, and I'm trying to make myself excited, but honestly, I'm not getting excited because it looks like you're not excited. Like, I don't see it anywhere. I don't see new clips of it. I don't see new trailers of it. I see, like, the 2 that you've already put out and, like, one thing with Jake Gyllenhaal talking about some of the characters. I'm like, okay, cool. When you guys try new things and innovate and do things nobody thought you would do, that's when people get excited. And this is not me saying that Disney's dying or anything like that. In fact, that's kind of me saying the opposite. It's just, I really think Disney needs to take a long, hard look at what they've been doing. And yeah, they've been able to make some money. Cool. Right now, you're hurting for it. You've got the debt of Fox on your shoulders. You got to catch back up after the whole lockdowns. And let me tell you right now, what you're doing right now is not really helping. I'm not excited about most of your Disney Plus content because you've trained me now to just assume most of what you're going to put out on Disney Plus is meh content at best. I want to be excited. I love your past content and I want to be there for the new content. In fact, I want to be a part of some of that new content if you let me. I got to be in a few voiceover roles with y'all and I'd love to come and do more. I'm excited about other things that other studios are doing because it feels like they're innovating. It feels like they're making something brand new. I feel like I'm just getting the same thing over and over with you guys, and not in a good way. There are sometimes, like, your Disney formula is great, but it's when you mess with it and make it slightly different that it feels brand new and fresh. That's when we all get excited. Yeah, hi everybody, this is Future Brian here. So I shot this video earlier this week, and yeah, right before it goes out, I just saw the Elementals trailer from Pixar, and that basically just did everything that I wanted the Disney company to do. It looks different, it looks unique, it looks new, and I'm actually excited about it. So wanted to give credit where credit is due that they're starting to do this. My feelings towards everything overall is still the same, but I did want to make that point that is definitely something that looks to be coming down the pipe. So right now, I am most excited and most happy with the animation studio right now because it looks like they're actually doing something. So let's see if we can get the rest of the company to get on board. But yeah, the new Elemental trailer looks amazing. Of course, as soon as I say there's been like no clips for Strange World, we got a clip. Still, there still seems to be like little to no marketing around it, so it still feels, I still forget it's coming. So yeah, wanted to make this little addendum that at least on the animation front, Disney seems to be going in that direction. So cool. All right, now back to the rest of the video. It feels like y'all are just trying to play it safe right now, and I get that you'd want to because you know you're in a tough financial spot. I get it, and it also doesn't help that you have all these crazy bonuses for people if they get, well, you know, more money for the company, like millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars of bonuses when you can't afford to keep some of your employees that make the content for you. I'm saying that does look pretty bad when you're sitting over here going, we have record profits, but we have to let everybody go, but I'm still gonna get my $20 million bonus. That feels a little weird, don't you think? And it feels a little wrong. I don't know everything that's going on in that world. I don't want to pretend that I do, but that does seem really off. And it doesn't really seem like y'all care about your employees. And as somebody who's been an employee for you in the past, I didn't dislike my time there, but I will be honest, there were times where I'm sitting there going, I don't want another free pen, I don't want another free hat, I would like a raise, even if it's a slight one. I'd rather have a raise than another hat. Y'all give us so much free product to keep us happy, it kind of wasn't fun in that regard. So maybe take a little more time to focus on taking care of your employees, really giving them the chance to make the best products possible, and you know, maybe giving the artists a chance to express themselves in ways that, you know, maybe the executives don't always know what's right for the artwork and what's right for that. And granted, I will admit, sometimes the artist doesn't always know. There needs to be a balance, but I feel like there's more executives making notes than creatives being able to let their vision shine through. And in my experience, it's when the two are working together in tandem that best products are made. From an outsider's perspective, I realize it could be different. That's what it seems like is happening. So if I can give my 2 cents, innovate, be different, be new, try new things, go for it. I know that's something I'm personally having to work on too, and I get it. It's scary and it's hard, but I want to be excited again. And right now I'm not. I wish I was. But if you're watching this video, just know this is not me saying I'm never making Disney content again or I'm never doing anything with it again. I still am. I wanted to talk about this. This is something that's been on my mind, and I've had people ask about it, and I want to be honest. I'm very underwhelmed with what's going on with it. I don't want to be, but I am. And I know Disney can do more than this, and I know they can make better products than this. And I hope to see that happen and maybe even be a part of it if Disney wants to. I'd love to still be a part of whatever is coming down the pipeline. Is Disney dying? No. But if Disney wants to be back on top, and if Disney wants to be really getting our attention again, they need to change. And they need to change a lot. But that's my 2 cents. That's where I am. And I'd love to hear your thoughts below. Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm way off base here? Do you think that this is just, the ramblings of a madman who needs to go get back to work? Or I'm curious. Where are y'all on all this? So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you agree with me? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys later. Bye.